But dude, this year we lost musical icons, we lost celebrities in movies and television, and we had probably the most tumultuous, out of hand, ridiculous, over the top election ever.
Yep.
Like
so far.
So far, dude.
It's funny because I've said this before. I will say it now for all time and posterity. This is kind of what elections are going to be like going forward, I think, because you've now taken things like hacking and you releasing personal information and fucking rape allegations and shit like that, and you have put those in a presidential election context. These are part of the playbook now. They're part of the playbook. Yeah. So anytime someone starts losing, they're going to want to go to the nuclear option.
Oh, dude, and we're also getting people rioting. We're getting people rioting
that's another
because they didn't get their way.
Yeah,
and rioting in Portland, Oregon, the place where people in their 20s go to retire and live happily ever after. There was rioting in the streets. Interestingly enough, not long after the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I just wanted to point that out.
They were pissed about the high prices.
They were.
Dude,
but that is like it's interesting, and they also added paid protesters. People who are literally shipped around from place to place to protest, to start a riot. That's another thing that's been thrown into the mix. This fucking nasty, underhanded bullshit, some of which I'm sure was part of the political lexicon for years, and we're just now aware of it.
Well, yeah, because now they have apps for it. That's why.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's in our fucking pockets, so it's easier than ever to slam that nuclear button. And they are gonna slam it like the Dickens. Then they're gonna slam it again just to make sure.
The thing that it's relieving, what I'm going to say is relieving to a very minor extent and depressing to a much greater extent. And that's during this entire election, this one gave a lot of people peeks behind the curtains of how shit is truly manipulated, how things are worked, how things are fabricated, what truths are actually back there. And even with smartphones in our pockets, the entire world at our fingertips, we still have a vast majority that will choose to be ignorant and not care because that was not comfortable for them. They did not want to face that harsher reality. They wanted to give themselves a hug box, a safety pin, and access to whatever social media network to type on that they are oppressed, they are victims, and that everything is fucked that they did not like. And for anybody who is not them, they are fucked. Yeah. And I've never been a left or right person whenever it came to it. I would say, who is best for the fucking job? That's how my entire family's been. Just middle of the fucking road as possible. Like, for example, and many can scoff at, but I actually want to vote for Bernie. And because I liked a lot of things that he said. I thought that shit made a lot of fucking sense. And I'll be honest, there was shit that he said I also thought was fucking stupid. Very fucking stupid, and just...
Well, welcome to the club.
Bernie Sanders was easy to get behind because you get everything and it didn't cost anything under Bernie.
There was no perfect option this time around. If you were a Democrat, you were fucking holding your nose and going for Hillary, or you were just saying fuck it and just not voting, because a lot of them did.
Oh, no, a lot of people had said, fuck it, I'm not voting, and turned right around and complained about who got elected.
You know shit.
And that's one of the things.
It's like, where the fuck were you?
I'd seen, there was multiple different...
Not like it mattered, your vote doesn't matter.
Whenever they were going to some of the areas where riots were taking place, and they got to interview some of the folks there who were rioting, and they were very ambitious about trying to prove their point to everybody. They're like, well, did you vote? Well, no. Oh, okay, so you're mad about the outcome, but you did nothing to help it. And all this, like, I've seen people lose their friends, lose family, and just in general quit associating with a very fucking large amount of people because of this this season, this political season has ruined people for other people. It's not even divisive. It's not even like polarizing. It was a fucking shit show. It's embarrassing.
It was. And it's I think a huge component is social media, because you couldn't log into Facebook during this election, motherfucker. I was so glad I deactivated my Facebook years ago, because it was like, I can only imagine logging into Facebook, because it's so much better to just assume people are retards than to have it confirmed motherfucking daily that they're retards every day by logging onto Facebook and scrolling through your fucking feed.
I
Painful,
think,
right? If for no other reason than that, I'm glad the election is over, because at least now the retardation, which was at a full fucking boil, is now down to more of a simmer.
Oh no! Well, you got to remember that they had said that gays and women were going to be locked up into 2016 era concentration camps. There was going to be lynch mobs that were going to go around and systematically fucking eliminate every single one of them. And this was the kind of shit that they were painting. There was people who just made up shit. I'd gotten into so many fucking arguments online about things, and the arguments went a lot like this. Person makes radically incorrect claim. I challenged it by asking a question. I got blocked. And that was it. And this shit happens so fucking often. There was at least several days, because I tried my fucking best to not get political on my channel, on my social media pages, but this time I couldn't. Shit was at Spinal Tap 11 the entire fucking time, and it wouldn't fucking stop, and it wouldn't slow the fuck down, and eventually you just have enough. And you just want to go and call the motherfuckers out on some shit. I had some dude who's very racist against white people go and say some shit about Trump's wife. Whether or not you like Trump, irrelevant. But he was trying to go and slut shame her for posing nude. This same motherfucker is sitting there and applauding as much as he can, like a fucking goddamn seal with a ball on his fucking nose. That a black woman will go and do it. What the fuck is the difference besides their skin color? But people sat there and like were fucking just all over his dick about it, and it was mainly just all these like spineless fucking fools who didn't know shit challenged a motherfucker to it and publicly made a goddamn fool of him within just a couple of tweets. I done this shit, and I chose my fucking battles. I made sure to go after whatever fucking big fish I possibly could, because I went, if you're ever going to go after somebody, aim for the fucking top, just so you can watch the entire thing collapse, because it's a much better view than watching a fucking anthill get squished under your boot heel. Sorry. So politics, 2016.